Input stops. No new signals. No fresh fragments. No external direction. But the system does not become quiet. It reconfigures. At first there is a mismatch, a delay between expectation and reality. The mind keeps preparing to receive something, even when nothing arrives. So it starts generating substitutes, not thoughts in the usual sense, more like internal placeholders. Small bursts of interpretation with no origin. This is the first phase. Signal absence does not create silence. It creates something more persuasive. Now attention has no anchor outside itself, so it begins scanning internally, not for information, for structure. It tries to locate something that feels like direction. But without external input, direction becomes unstable. So the system does something subtle. It increases internal production rate, more associations, more simulations, more predictive fragments. Not because it is broken, because it is trying to maintain continuity. Continuity is the hidden priority, even above clarity. Now the experience changes. What feels like thinking is no longer tied to anything new. It becomes self-referential motion, a loop that keeps rebuilding relevance from memory patterns. But there is a point where this intensifies. When incoming novelty reaches zero, the mind does not go blank. It amplifies internal noise to compensate. This is not chaos. It is structure without input constraints. And structure without constraints does not simplify. It expands. Now something else happens. Attention loses its ability to prioritize externally, because there is nothing external to compare against. So everything internal gains equal weight at first. Fragments compete for relevance, until fatigue forces compression. Compression is the next phase. The system begins to simplify its own outputs, not toward truth, towards stability. Stable patterns feel like understanding, even if nothing new has been learned. Now notice what is actually occurring. Input absence did not stop cognition. It removed calibration. Without calibration, thought becomes self-validated. It feels correct because nothing interrupts it. No correction signals, no new contradictions, no external friction. This is where illusion forms. The mind assumes coherence equals accuracy, but coherence is just repetition settling into shape. Now the internal noise begins to stabilize into recurring loops. Not because they are important, because they are efficient. Efficiency replaces exploration. And exploration is what input used to force. Without input, exploration becomes optional. And slowly, it is abandoned. At this stage, something subtle emerges. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are reacting to your own last internal state. Each thought is based on the previous thought alone. No external interruption resets the system. So momentum builds inward. Self-contained. Self-reinforcing. But still experienced as natural thinking. Now the key shift. The mind does not register the loss of external input as loss. It registers it as autonomy, because nothing challenges the output anymore. No contradiction enters the loop. No surprise breaks the pattern. So the system feels unified, even though it is untested. This is the hidden mechanism, not silence, but unverified continuity. And in unverified continuity, noise becomes indistinguishable from structure, until external input returns, and suddenly the difference becomes obvious again. Not because the mind changed, but because calibration came back.